My dear leaders, there are few people that kept asking, organizations, companies asking, can you do a training on ethics and professionalism for me? And it's something that every single day I am having a conversation with someone, whether it's in public or private sector, it doesn't matter. And it's something that I think it's a cultural problem now to think about it. It's something that needs to be addressed, I would say, from high school, when kids are beginning to understand a work world and where they're entering into, and get reinforced even when they go into higher education. This whole aspect of work ethics and how do we behave at work and how we treat it, it's something that some of us in maybe the older generation understand, putting in quality work and how you work, this whole aspect of everything, how you operate, right? But then we have a bunch of people coming into a workplace now, and yes, not only the younger generation, even the older generation to some extent, you're seeing some of these behaviors coming out. And so I'm going to touch on just 3 areas here. There are many more that I can talk about that we need improvement in. And I say we as an entire nation that needs improvement in. So I came out to a coaching session not too long, and this was something, as I said, it's not only in one area, in multiple places is the same conversation that I'm having. And one of the area that my client was telling about is that I'm hiring people and they don't have no ethical behavior, that okay, they want to leave, right? And I'm not talking here about why you're leaving, that is on you, but how do you leave, right? You want to leave a job, that's okay. You have better opportunities, that's okay. But how do you leave the job that you're presently on, right? You have a policy, whatever it is, might be for that company, that states that you need to give a month's notice or 2 weeks notice, whatever it might be. And the ethical thing to do is that give them the required notice. You're sending in your resignation, sending it with the required time frame so that you leave on a good note, right? While you're on the job. So that's one area there. While you're on the job, I was taught that you give an honest day work for an honest day pay. Now you might want to argue with me, well, I don't think I'm being paid well, so I just do 2-hour work for within an 8-hour shift, and whatever that you might give your own self reason as to why you're doing that, right? And so I'm saying to you here, you signed up for this here. You would have given a job description, you have been told this is what the expectations are, and you agreed that this is what you'll be paid for this, right? And I'm just saying this here again because I feel that many people are not addressing stuff like this here in themselves, especially. You made that choice. If you didn't want that job, then don't take the job. You don't think that you are being valued enough to be paid whatever it is that you think you should be paid, then find where we're gonna pay you at, right? And so instead of going to work and then dragging yourself, this lethargic kind of behavior, do not produce any results, and you frustrate the people you're working with, you frustrate your boss or whoever, you frustrate yourself, right? And then you end up making the whole environment become one that is even more toxic if it's already toxic, right? So I'm saying to you, if that is what you sign on for, give it your all. You choose in that moment there, I'm going to be working in this environment, And even if you set the goal that, you know what, I only want to be here for a year, I want to be here for 2 years, whatever it might be. But in the period that you're there, how do you want to behave that is going to reflect who you are? That is a choice you made. Right? So showing up to work and giving it your all, those are choices you have made. A next behavior that is coming out that I would say, if you're a person of integrity, then again, this is a behavior that people are looking at too. And one of it is that here, you're in the company, you have a problem. You gone to your employer, you said to them, look, I'm going through this financial crisis right now, and I really need to borrow or have an advance in my salary for so much money. And I mean, sometimes you get a no, sometimes you get a yes. But let's talk about the people who got the yes, right? You were now granted this, maybe this loan or an advance in your salary, whatever it might be. You didn't work for it as yet, but then you decide to leave the job, right? And what is the ethical thing to do? You pay the people back the money before you leave their job. That is the ethical thing to do. If you're gonna know you're gonna resign after you know you would have fulfilled that commitment that you have made there. That is what ethical behavior would look like. And so when, as I said, these are things, I don't know where we lost these values somewhere along the line, that it's okay to walk off the job, don't give no notice, and also owe the company and don't pay it back. That is the hurtful part. Don't pay it back. Collect your salary the last day and then next day call in and say you're not working back. That is not a behavior of somebody who's trustworthy and who's ethical, right? And one other behavior I'll touch here. As I said, there are multiple things, but one other behavior is that this aspect of, saying that you're sick when you're not sick, and going to a doctor and tell the doctor I am sick and I need a medical, right? And so I need a 3 days medical, I need a 5 days medical, and the doctor signs it off and you produce it and you got your time off, right? I am not talking about people who are genuinely sick. I'm not speaking about that. I am sharing with you here, and you know exactly, if you're sick or not. But I'm talking about the behavior that comes off, which is not ethical, which is dishonesty, and is this who you want to be? Right? Can you imagine a society where we have a bunch of people where all of us behave in that kind of way? What kind of society are we building and leaving for our kids to be dwelling in when we're gone? I'm not sure how many of us we become okay to behave in certain way that is not acceptable, right? And you might say it's not acceptable for Shanti, but I'm saying to you, is it acceptable for our generation and what you want to leave in this world? Is it acceptable that you behave like that, right? And what's gonna happen? I know many of you have different thoughts on this, and that's okay. These are just my opinion, but I'm saying to you, if you want to be a person of quality and you want to be a person of influence, a person that wants to leave a great mark, wherever you're working or wherever you're living, look at these behaviors that it does not help you and serve you. It might look like it's serving you for the way you behave, right? And I'll throw in one last one client was sharing with, she let go of 2 of her staff because of the same kind of behavior that is not matching her values. And because she let go of them in the right way, all of that, they went and start blasting her and, you know, said a different ill words about her. Again, is that who you want to be? Right? And that's kind of really low thinking of how you want to behave. If you didn't know that. So again, it come back to you. If you're okay in being that kind of person, then you're gonna have a hard time being successful also in life. Look back at those behaviors. I will share other things that, you know, some other ethical behavior in the next video that we can all start working on. Share this video with anyone that you think can benefit, and do share your thoughts too. Share anything that can help add value to others who may not understand that some of these behaviors are not acceptable. Right? It's not acceptable. Take care and enjoy your day.